Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another Canadian Soldier Reacts video, and today we're looking at the Norwegian Elite Arctic Military Force. And this is Magnus again. He's the same guy that did the fitness test for Spain a couple of videos ago. Now, for those of you who know me, I am a former Canadian Special Forces soldier. I was in the 1st Battalion of the Royal Canadian Regiment from 1987 to 1998. And I've actually worked with these guys. Now, when I say worked with these guys, don't get too excited. I was a private at the time in a rifle platoon. We were in Norway on NATO training and exercise. We were there for about a month, I think. A little over a month, maybe. Started out doing deterrent patrolling with the Defense Force. Then we moved into combat operations. And when I say worked with these guys, so these guys are forward recce, basically, right? Mountain ops. And that's exactly what they were doing on the exercise. So I was in the briefings with them. I was in the training with them, the preparation, the rehearsals with them. But then when everything came down to go, they went out like, I don't know, 2 days before us, and they marked a trail for us, and we follow along behind. And when I say we follow along behind, what it was that it was a training exercise where every one of our companies, so there were 3 at the time, Dukes, Bravo, and Charles. I was Charles. Every one of us followed the trail that they had blazed for us to assault an enemy position on top of a mountain. Now, I'm not sure I had done my basic mountain warfare course by this point. So I was, no, in fact, so I was reconnaissance patrolman qualified at this point, but not basic mountain warfare. We did our basic winter warfare before this X. And we did, remember, I was only a year in battalion at this point. And we did training, biathlon training, because there was a biathlon competition where the RCR put 2 teams in, and we came first and second out of all of the NATO countries. My team, we left 10 minutes apart on this biathlon competition. So the Italian Alpinis left 10 minutes in front of us, and other people left in front of them. We caught them. We caught the Italian Alpinis at the halfway point, and they sat down on the side of the trail to let us go by, and they started brewing up coffee. That was fun. But anyway, back to the story. So we were assaulting this enemy position, which was on top of a mountain that these guys had recce'd for us. And my company, I believe, so anybody who was on the exercise with me, let me know down below. In fact, Sergeant Sneb, if you're listening, let me know down below. Did your company actually complete the assault? Because I know Charles' company did. And man, it was tough. I got stories about that one. If you want to know the stories, just let me know down below. Anyway, let's take a look at this. I'll probably cut some of this up. This is 21 minutes long, and I'm obviously talking, so I don't want this to be too long. So I'll probably cut out some of this. So here we go.
The world's best Arctic fighters. The Norwegian Reconnaissance Squadron is an elite.
Okay, so actually, you know what? I think I'll give them that. I'm not 100% sure. And again, if somebody wants to disagree with me, and this is weird for me, but if somebody wants to disagree with me, let me know down below. You know I'm a big fan of 1RCR, but as far as Arctic fighters go, I mean, we've got a lot of training in Arctic fighting. These guys might be better.
force only a few people would even consider, and out of those who do, only 1% make it through their selection. These guys are specialists at operating behind enemy lines for long periods.
That was, let me just go back there.
Through their selection. These guys are...
So that's a Carl Gustav right there. That's an 84 millimeter rocket launcher. That's actually the carrying case for the rounds. That's full of snow for some reason. And they're actually, I don't know whether they're belaying this down or if they're hauling that up. But either way, that's impressive.
Specialists at operating behind enemy lines for long periods of time. They're trained to go unnoticed in any terrain and to be completely independent. They're also...
Yeah, so that's Recce. That's what Recce does. That's what 1RCR Recce did also.
Also the Norwegian Force's best climbers. And just to give you an idea of how tough this unit really is, earlier this year they went on a mission where they spent 44 days outside in down to minus 30 degrees in some of the hard...
Minus 30 degrees is not that bad. The most that we were ever in was in Churchill Falls, I believe. Minus 56. And it was like that for like a week. It was so cold that, I don't know if you guys know what naphtha is, but naphtha is a very volatile fuel used for camp stoves. And we would be burning naphtha stoves inside the tents. We would have a 2-burner stove going, a lantern going, and then up to 2 single-burner stoves going to try to keep it warm inside this 10-man Arctic bell tent with Arctic liner. And when the fuel would run out, we would have to go outside to fuel up because you're not fueling up inside a 10-man bell tent because this fuel is very volatile. And I would go outside and I would fuel up the tank. I'd just take the tank outside, not the stove, just the tank. I would fuel it up. I would bring it back in, and then I would open up the valve to pour a bunch of naphtha into the bowl of the stove. And then I'd put the tank back on, and the tank had a rod that went over the top of the bowl, and that's to heat up the naphtha as it's going across the pipe and then through the piping and into the actual the burner. I could light a match, set it into that bowl, and what would normally go whoof, you could actually watch the fire spread around the bowl as the naphtha warmed up. It was too cold to burn. So, yeah, very cold.
Harshest Arctic conditions you can imagine, without any supplies and without being told how long the mission would last.
44 days survival in the Arctic?
Their identity has to remain a secret, and no media has ever been allowed in. Not until now, as I'm about to join the world's best Arctic fighters on a mission above the Arctic Circle and behind.
So I'm not sure, I've said this before, I'm not sure I agree with that. A force like this, they're an actual military combat force. They're not infiltrators. Having their faces known, meh.
Behind enemy lines.
Okay,
but 44 days behind enemy lines, that's a lot.
Norwegian Military Intelligence Battalion. Today, you
military intelligence, that's interesting.
Long-range reconnaissance squadron, the LRPs.
So they put long-range reconnaissance into intelligence. That is very interesting. I didn't realize that. Our all of our reconnaissance are in the battalions, whether it be infantry battalions or whether it be there's actual mounted reconnaissance in the tank regiments, and the gunners, they don't call it reconnaissance, they call it forward observers, but those guys are out with and sometimes even in front of reconnaissance also. So all of the ground forces have their own kind of versions of reconnaissance. But I've never seen them in intelligence before. And I'm a qualified combat intelligence operator.
And do a mission with them.
A climbing mission, I've heard.
A climbing mission, a bit different from what you...
These look familiar. Anybody in the Canadian Forces, if you know, we didn't have these when I was in anything like this, but these look familiar to me. Did Canada get something like this after I left? I left in '98, so 98 on. Did Canada have something like this? Before this, we had an Iltis, terrible little four-wheeled tiny Jeep type vehicle, but
You are normally doing, and I guess when we get you geared up, it will be odds even. Your patrol has been tasked to support the rescuing of a downed pilot behind enemy lines. The pilot, his last known position is in the area of East Tindon, here.
So the mission is to rescue the pilot, who should be somewhere in the area of East Tindon. We'll be transported into enemy's territory by car, where we get dropped off and have to make our way up the mountain as quickly as possible and unnoticed by the enemy. As soon as we have the pilot, we'll call for a helicopter to come fly us out.
interesting that the route that they're taking, because if you have to go unnoticed, you want to be in the valleys, right, in the low ground, because I can't tell from this. Doesn't look like there's much of any trees here, right? There's two general ways. Well, yeah, really two general ways to go unnoticed, right? You move in low ground or undercover, trees, brush, that kind of stuff. And the route that they have planned looks like it's silhouetting them the whole way. You stand up on top of that ridge and somebody can see you for miles. So that doesn't look right to me.
Questions?
No question.
The guys will take care of you.
They're not blurring this guy's face. So this is one patrol team, 4-man patrol team. I think a 4-man patrol team.
Should I be aware of the surroundings? Like look around? Do we need to be ready to? Because now we're behind
Always.
enemy lines.
Yeah, we just got a SIFT update from our base. They have intelligence that says that there are enemy forces moving towards our position.
We've been at this
they're
1
probably
hour,
for the pilot as well.
according to the
We also
timer.
have to be quick. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
These backpacks are like 35 kilos, and that's no exaggeration.
35 kilos, 1 second. That's 35 kilos, I believe, is 75 or 80 pounds. Our backpacks, so we would carry an 85-pound rucksack with a 35-pound web gear on us. So they're traveling a little bit lighter. But then again, he's not talking about his web gear, so they might be pretty similar to what we were carrying.
We measured them before. My legs aren't that strong. I already feel it a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep up
That's
with
just
you guys.
conditioning.
How do we
you'll
move
get that
without being noticed?
You do this for a year, you'll
that's
get
your
that.
kind of specialty,
Yeah,
right?
well, we try to stay in the low terrain unless we have like concealment in the fog and stuff like that. And as you can
Exactly.
see around us now, the fog is coming in, so that's good for us.
Oh yeah, fog helps.
Luckily, we're being picked up by a helicopter at the top. That's, for me, that's really the highlight.
Assuming there's no enemy around, yeah. Because if there's enemy force,
we need to
so
find the fire.
another interesting thing that happened, and this is more common actually in Norway because of the high mountains. We had a situation once where Charles' company was in. We were assaulting a position. Anti-armor platoon had actually intercepted a regiment of tank reinforcement coming in to wipe us out. So they saved us. But we called for reinforcements, and I think I may have told this on the channel before. The pilots flew down the fjord right past where the enemy gun emplacements were, turned around and came back and flew past them again. And as soon as they landed, range control staff came over and told them all, or exercise control staff came over and told them all, you're all dead. So don't even bother getting out of the helicopters. You're all dead. Because when you're flying, the helicopter pilots will often fly below the level of the peaks of the mountains because they're so high, right? Helicopters are easy to hit in those conditions.
Jet pilots.
Yeah.
That's priority number one. Riding the helicopter, that's priority
Yeah.
number 2.
Oh wow, volcanic.
These guys have like a crazy high pace, and I've been told that I should look for enemies to the left. So the guy in the front, he's
Yep.
looking straight ahead. I'm looking to the left. The
2
guy
hours
behind
in
me is
and he's
looking
that
to the right.
tired. Holy crap.
Well, like,
So his conditioning is different from ours then, obviously. He's not, like, we would do things like this on a monthly, well, maybe not in the mountains so much, right? But we would do conditioning backpack ruck marches once a month or once every 3 months at most. And then every exercise we do and stuff like that.
too out of breath to even like feel like my sight is kind of blurry.
Oh wow,
But it's
that's
really
not a good
exciting.
sign.
If we keep this pace for much longer, I have to ask them if we can take a little break. The Firejet pilot needs to wait, otherwise I'm gonna die on the way up here.
That's not
And
good.
it was crazy. We left like
And
1 a.m.
they are well in the open right now, and you can see there's a reentrant down below him that they could be going up, but they're not. They're going over the top. Now maybe they're expecting the enemy on the other side of a ridgeline, and it's okay, but I mean, he's obviously exposed from a long way away here.
Didn't sleep at all. We were supposed to sleep for like an hour, but I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh, well, that's probably the first skill that you're going to have to learn in the military is whenever they tell you to rest, you fall asleep. Everyone can do it. You have to be able to do it. I actually fell asleep standing up once. That's another story.
And we have very little food with us, and we're just gonna try to do this as quickly as possible, get in, get out. And these guys are crazy fit, and we're soon about to like get our harness on and start actually climbing. And I think that's gonna be really spectacular, but it's a very different climbing that I'm used to. These backpacks are around 35 kilos, so that's about half my body weight. And I don't know
Ouch.
how I'm gonna climb with that, and also with boots.
Again, it's still conditioning.
This,
It's
like,
just,
these are very different from my
we didn't
usual
even have
cargo
big climbing boots
shoes.
like that. We had just combat boots. It's very volcanic. Wow. Or at least it looks like it. God, this place is picturesque. When we were doing this, we were actually in the middle of winter. It was like February, March when we were doing it. So there was tons of snow everywhere. I'm guessing this is the middle of summer. Yeah, it's got to be the middle of summer. Yeah, these guys are fit.
I've done a lot of hard shit lately, but this is hard in just a different way. Just never ending.
The thing is,
hiking.
all of these things are hard in their own way, which is why we train for them in the ways that we do. And each unit is going to train in the way that makes them good at what it is they need to do, or makes the things that they need to do easier. This is just conditioning. It's what they do.
For hours, we thought we're at the top, and we were just halfway. So
You thought you were at the
last few
top.
hours, we've just been
They knew.
hiking, but it's super hot right now. Running
Wow,
out of
look at the clouds behind him. Isn't that gorgeous?
but now it looks like we're gonna climb the ridge finally. And,
He's above
I've
the
kinda
clouds.
stopped
That's
looking
nuts.
for enemies, to be honest. I just feel like, yeah, if there are any enemies in the area, they're gonna deal with it. So I'm not focusing on myself right now. Need to
Yeah,
save
you're a
the
liability, dude. Sorry. Bear paws. Snowshoes, basically. Small
I think
ones.
this is gonna take me some time to recover from. Like, right now it feels like my batteries are really low, and I know that the mission has just started, so I'm a little bit worried. I saw you got like an update on the
As of now, the entire Operation Meatballs, is
Meatballs.
depending
Operation Meatballs. Who made that name?
on might have been me. It's critical for us to
get to the pilot as soon as possible. As you can see in front of us, we have a really narrow and steep ridge line. That's our only way through.
Yeah, this is what they
Super
showed
exposed.
earlier.
We're exposed to.
I guess they can't go up
the
that
elements, rocks and stuff, but also
ice
from being
pack
spotted by the enemy.
in the low ground, maybe?
What happens if we get like shot at during our climb? Do we, what is it called?
Shoot back?
Return fire, or
Yeah, we will shoot back.
shoot back? Okay,
Shoot back.
yeah,
And
because we're pretty
Return fire
vulnerable
works
on that
too.
ridge.
it's gonna be a shitstorm if we get in contact.
Gonna be
with it.
shit.
Yeah.
We've divided.
How can you tell military, right?
With all the pros, so the nuts and the.
That's actually a thing that you can really learn from a lot of these videos. The real military guys are gonna just say it like it is, very plainly, and they're not gonna care about your feelings or about the niceties. You know, it's gonna be a shitstorm. Whereas if they're doing a recruitment video, anybody who gives you this, 14 word long word salad that has 7 different words that you're not quite sure what they mean, that's either somebody who doesn't know what the hell it is that they're talking about. They're reading off of like a TONE or BAT or something, or it's a recruitment video. Like, those are the people that don't know what they're talking about.
We're gonna go as a 3. Yeah.
Is it a climbing
Hey,
helmet?
these guys aren't
So
blurred.
it's we have
Did I miss something?
another helmet, kind of similar, which is made for ballistics.
Okay.
So it's really heavy.
Yeah.
But this one is
Oh, there
a
you go.
lot more lightweight one.
Jorgen and Even are
First
leaving the
person
unit
goes
and
in
don't
front
have to be
with
blurred.
the-
Okay.
all the protection, and then you as the second person will take it out.
Yeah.
And then.
So we're not belaying each other. I think it's going to be new to a lot of people watching. So basically, if one of you fall, I have to go low, right?
Yeah, and make sure if we fall on one side, that kind of you.
You
don't go
basically have
after
to
it.
fall
At
on
least
the
he's an
other side.
experienced climber, so he's not
Well, that's
as
the
much
kinda-
of a
you have to
liability
have
there.
A pretty quick reaction, like, was it left, was it right, and then you just have to do it.
Yeah, and you'll see afterwards, like maybe not using these kind of pros,
Yeah.
but just using natural, just rocks, whatever you have, trees,
Yeah.
and just put the rope in
Yeah.
between.
Also, the harness is camo. That was pretty cool. I've never seen that before. And we're gonna climb with the backpacks.
Okay.
So that's what's gonna make it really challenging. I mean, this route isn't gonna be that
He
hard.
focuses on
itself.
some weird
We're
things.
trying
Civilian,
to go
I guess,
quick,
right?
And we're trying not to be noticed. So, I mean, it's a different way of moving. When we get down there, we call for the helicopter. How long does that usually take for the helicopter to come?
Wow.
Since there's
He's
not
really
anything
focused
there,
on the
then
easy
it's
way out.
a bigger operation, so they need multiple planes to kind of suppress the enemy.
Most of the time
before
in
they can bring in a helicopter, which is
Yeah.
an easier target.
Yeah. So,
So
they
it-
first have to suppress
Yeah,
the
the helicopters are
enemy's,
easy targets.
uh,
Most of the
Air
time,
Force,
they're going to make you walk
yeah.
out.
and then they.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if they have
Now,
to walk
what do
out.
we do if we don't get a helicopter?
It wouldn't be the first time it happens. So
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
you always plan for an emergency plans. So
Mm.
you always have kind of escape routes and different kinds of pickup.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
2 or
But the
3
pilot
possible pickup
I mean,
sites,
he's worth
and then
more
2 or 3
than us,
possible
right?
exit routes.
Because he's
Yeah. So
And they'll know them
the
already.
education they get.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're jet fighter pilots. So
it's a very cynical way of looking at it,
Yeah.
but
So
that's how
they're
it
kinda,
is.
they're
Yeah.
kind of pushing
You know-
the 5 of us to help get him out.
I mean, a lot of people will think that way, but these guys
Mission.
are as highly, if not more highly trained than that jet fighter pilot. So they're maybe not more highly, but they're just as valuable as that jet fighter pilot. I'll guarantee you that jet fighter pilot couldn't do what they do. See, they are so silhouetted at the top here. This is what I was talking about before. This is not good. Okay. Is he going down? No, he's going up. Why is he going up? There was looked like an easier way going down. He must be doing this for the camera. Yeah, see. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something down there that I'm not seeing, and that was the only way around. That's the only thing I can think of. But still, they're very silhouetted there.
So you guys sore at all?
I don't think my legs know what they've been up to yet. Maybe I'll feel it later, but
Yeah. You were leading the way the whole way. Pretty
Yeah,
high
there's no
pace.
way they're
I thought you'd dig it.
they're not exhausted yet. They wouldn't be in that unit if they were.
I'll prata.
Whoa. Beautiful scenery. Look at that. They've obviously got some sort of drone or something up there filming them. Got to be some sort of a camera crew following them. Which, of course, means that all of this is highly unrealistic, right? So they probably don't have
You're looking for the pilot.
an actual
Is he
enemy force
gonna
out there looking
give
for
you,
them.
like, a signal, or is it
Because if
like
there
what
was
you're
actually an
looking
enemy force looking for them,
Yeah,
all the
for
production
a single
crew
person,
there, the
but
drone,
he
whatever it
sees
was,
us, he'll
would
come
draw
through
them.
with a smoke or a flare.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to scan to see him because he should be in the area.
Do you know what color he's wearing?
He should be wearing a flight suit. Yeah, I think I got him. Yeah, it's right by the edge there.
Do you have a way of calling him, or do we just need to go down there and check?
I think we'll try to get closer before we do anything else.
Okay.
Try not to be called out by the enemy.
Yeah.
Once with the glacier,
So white.
so white. That's why we brought our white cam.
White cam.
So
White cam, yeah.
for pants,
Winter weights.
yeah, there as well, and then for our helmets, everything. Everything's white. Try and like blend into the glacier.
Yeah.
So what's the plan now? The guy's up there, right? The pilot is up there somewhere.
We think we saw something
Mhm.
up on the other ridge line up there.
Yeah.
So
We just got a report about increased hostile activity in the area.
yeah,
So we have to be extra careful, right? So we're gonna switch to the white clothes.
yeah. So the white cams,
Mhm.
top and bottoms,
Well, I guess we have no time to waste.
no time to waste. So
Yeah. Let's get changed.
Whoa, those are some dirty whites. The backpack cover doesn't get used as much, so it's not as dirty. This happened to us all the time.
Is that smoke?
Our whites got so dirty.
That's the pilot, right?
And we would be doing, they're doing this in climbing boots. We would be doing it in mucklucks. Oh, those are clean. These are nice. These are not.
keep going. Safe.
Oh, there's the pilot. I'm guessing that guy is one of their team. Yeah, he's one of their team. He knows what he's doing. Then again, I don't know. The pilots could be trained in mountain warfare too. Who knows?
What we're gonna do is
God, that's
we're gonna
beautiful.
get rid of the hypothermia. Gonna get you some shelter, heat you up, give you some.
He should have winter cam, white cam on that tent. The way he's talking, this is a test, right? This is obviously training, but it's that's probably one of his instructors there. Usually, what
We have to
happens?
make the way down ourselves.
I knew it. So yeah, he was just going over his checklist and telling the guy, so the guy would know that he knows what he's doing. Which of course is kind of a moot point if those two guys are leaving the unit anyway. But never stop training. Yeah, this is summer snow. Wade.
Finally. We've been walking on snow for hours.
33 hours, 21 minutes.
And we've been out for, I think it's close to 35 hours without sleep, with hardly any food. I feel really low on energy, and this is so different from all the other challenges that I've done.
That's not terribly
Like,
uncommon.
I don't even have energy to, like, on the way down I didn't have energy to talk to the camera, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm completely empty right now, and I don't know, it's just this backpack is so annoying, you know? Did I mention that it's 35 kilos?
You get used to
I think
it.
I mentioned
It's just
that like 20
conditioning.
times already. Evan, you told me something funny earlier about the warmest piece of clothing in NATO.
Yeah.
What is it?
You wanna know what it is?
The backpack.
Oh, it's this piece of kit right here.
Yeah.
The backpack.
Yeah, because you
Would
sweat.
you call this,
It's against your back and you
operation
sweat.
Successful so far?
Yeah, I'd say it's been.
Contact? I'm assuming that's what he yelled. I'm surprised they're standing. That's an interesting BFA. So, I don't know what, that can't be Miles gear. I'm not seeing any Miles pickups here, so that's got to be a laser of some kind, I'm guessing. And that's an interesting BFA. I think I got, my BFA is back there, right there. That's my BFA. This one, yeah, theirs were different. This one almost looked like it bolts on. Where ours used that, do it again. It used that loop and it just hand tightened. Oh, there you go. There's a better shot of it. Yeah, look at that. So the lower piece, that's interesting. That's the lower part of the BFA. Mine, this part is yellow, whereas they've got this, and it looks like it is put on with a wrench. Or they might just hand tighten it. They might use that the same way as I use the ring on mine. I'm not sure what it is that they're using here. I don't know the weapon. Short barrel, obviously, which means it's not going to be as accurate over longer ranges, but it's going to be better for climbing. We climbed with our C7s. In fact, before the C7s, we climbed with our C1s. So yeah, but then again, I mean, they're not expecting, well, they're hoping not to get into combat, and because they're long-range reconnaissance, they're hoping they're closer when they get into combat. Interesting, he had his sights uncovered, because you noticed the reaction, he was up and firing immediately, which is a good reaction. But that meant his sights were uncovered all the time. That's interesting. They pop smoke for camouflage, and then they're firing through it. Which means they're not seeing who they're firing at. Yeah, that's a 4-man team. You saw the 4 men there, and he's just the 5th tag along. They're obviously keeping him out of the fight. That looked like water.
Did you guys know that we were gonna get shot at today?
No.
Or was that a surprise?
Well,
It's
yes
always
and
a
no.
surprise.
Yeah, it's always a surprise. It's supposed to
You
be a
never
surprise.
know if you're gonna meet enemies. When you get tired, on your way down, coming from the mountain,
Yep.
or you're going to your pickup point,
Yeah.
that's when you start like
Get
getting
lazy.
really unfocused.
Yep.
And so kind of have to be switched on the whole
Yeah,
time.
and I guess it's
Yep.
smart of them to test you at the end of a
Yeah,
mission like this,
For sure.
when
So-
you're tired,
And
because they test your reflexes, I guess. Like
yeah,
how-
so,
yeah.
and now we're trained to, like, if we hear that we're getting shot at. Something just turns on.
Yeah.
The only thing is, we were trained to drop our rucks, but then again, they're not moving, so we're trained to drop our rucks for section attacks. We had quick release
to not
zap
shoot
straps.
if we
Not zap straps, but
had any contact. I was just directed to just stay put and yeah, follow the instructions. So I'm not gonna definitely not gonna look like a hero in that shot. Is there anything we could have done better?
I mean, we ended up in a contact with the enemy.
Okay.
That's never good, but
yeah,
we managed to
reconnaissance doesn't want
defeated.
contact
yeah, for sure.
ever.
I'm just super
but
excited.
you got to train for it, right?
I'm just super excited for the pizza.
Yeah.
You've been telling me about the pizza, and my mouth gets
All right,
watery
guys.
just from-
That looks like it. Some pretty cool training. Obviously, a highly trained force. Long range reconnaissance patrol in mountain operations. Some pretty switched on guys. I got to give it to Magnus for actually trying this stuff. Most civilians wouldn't even be able to try this kind of stuff. Obviously, you see the difference, right? As good as he is, and I take nothing away from him, the training and conditioning of these guys is just far superior, at least for what it is that they're doing, right? You train and condition for the things that you do, and this is obviously well out of his element. So, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about me. We're still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Would love your help in doing that. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.